All right, it is Monday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yes, it is Motivated Monday. We're getting it started. And this morning had me thinking slow weeks reveal everything. Not your talent, not your potential. They reveal how you think. Because when things slow down, when the phone isn't ringing, when deals aren't moving, the voice shows up. Take today off. Skip it. It's not going to matter anyway. You've heard that voice before, haven't you? And this is where the separation happens. Not in the busy weeks, not when everything is working, but right here. Because top producers don't panic in slow weeks. They get calm. They don't chase everything. They focus on the right things. They don't rely on how they feel. They rely on what they know works. And here's where you need to lock in. You don't control the market. You don't control timing, but you do control your actions. So when that voice tells you skip the work, that's your signal, not to stop, but to stay consistent, to stay focused, keep putting in the reps that build your future. Because slow weeks don't mean you're losing, they mean you're being tested. There we go. So, so this week, just thinking about, I was talking about thinking like a top producer and what to do during slow weeks, because slow weeks happen, right? And you want to be intentional with what you're doing. So, how do slow weeks affect you emotionally? Well, I can say, me personally, when it comes to a slow week, obviously I welcome it occasionally for sure. I could use a slow week. Um, and you know, um, yeah, sorry, phone rang and I did not have it on silent. Every once in a while I do welcome slow week. But what happens when they come back to back? How do you stay mentally focused when you do have slow weeks? Miss Fati? All right, hey.
Um, well, I don't know. I don't really like slow weeks.
Hmm.
Slow weeks feel like to me that I haven't done anything. And quite frankly, as a new agent, you have a lot of slow weeks. As a newer
Right?
agent, you're not a top producing agent, so it's just discouraging. Um,
Hmm.
like it can be very discouraging. For me personally, maybe not so much for a top producer because you have business coming in, people calling you and stuff like that. But when you're new and you're just kind of starting out, you don't have people blowing up your phone telling you that you need this, you need that, looking for
Hmm.
a referral. Surprisingly, I mean, within my second year, like I've gotten a couple, but it's kind of been discouraging because I've had a lot of like appointments that were like no shows, you know.
Hmm.
So I feel like for me, that's kind of what I would be able to speak more on.
Yeah.
It's just feeling discouraged when you have those appointments set and you set them up and it's just like back to back. Like April was not an easy month for me. Um, because I would say my first year was pretty decent and there was like momentum. But now it's
Hmm.
like my second year and things have kind of slowed up and yeah, like it's discouraging.
Well, and I think what comes to first year, you have first year excitement, right? What this is new, and then it's second year is settling into the repetitive nature of what it takes to be successful in this industry. And think that when you talk about, the back-to-back appointments canceling, one of the like when you look at it along on a timeline, like really a lot of time you assume that 50% of your appointments will cancel on you. 50%. So it's actually not abnormal to have a high percentage of your appointments cancel or reschedule or no show. It's frustrating because, like, again, at the beginning, like, what if the first five appointments cancel on you, right? that's incredibly discouraging when you're first getting started, especially if you're not having as many appointments. So just know that this is an industry that happens a lot. Um, so one of the questions is asked, what does a top producer do differently? And I can say for me, I know that no matter what has to be done, like I get into my CRM every single day, no matter whether it's slow week, busy week, and I look at my task for the day, who I have to call. And the fact that I have everyone set up on smart plans makes it a lot easier for me to uh, continue doing the work, even when like it's like, okay, I don't want to do it. It's easy to skip. But if I've got a checklist of 60 people that I have to call and I don't call them today, oh, that means I got to call them tomorrow, right? So that kind of helps keep me putting one foot in front of the other as well. Um, what is something that would help you stay focused to continue doing the work, so that a slow week doesn't affect you mentally or emotionally?
I don't know.
You don't know? All right. Well, you don't have to have an answer to that, right? Like, and I think it one of the things to do is having the like with my smart plans, right? The day is planned ahead for me. So I'm not thinking about today. What do I have to do? Who do I have to call today? I just have to open up the CRM. Boom. The smart plans are in place. I've got them in place, right? We've talked about getting you going on the DT22, right? Two letters per week in your phone, and making sure you're reaching out to two letters per week and getting them on the smart plans or catching them up, whether they are tasks that may or may not be overdue within your CRM. Um, so what can you control this week?
Um,
Really only two things we can control, right?
what is it?
Our thoughts and
Our
actions.
ah.
The actions that you take to produce the business and the life that you want. So, what are some actions you can take this week to control your week?
I can not cry in a corner because someone canceled an appointment on me.
Hey, have a 5 second funeral. That's okay. Be upset about it. It's okay to be upset about it. It's normal. It's natural. We're human. We're not robots, right? So, but it's how long do you have that?
Um,
Do you let it shut you
appointment
down for the
slot
rest of the
time.
day? Huh?
The appointment slot time.
The whole appointment slot time's too long. Like, right? Like, that is too long. I will say that, yeah, you don't want to sit because again, it's like we can build momentum in either direction, right? You can build it to slow down or you can build it to speed up. And that's why, like, I think, I know a lot of people like David Goggins talked about it, and it's just like, uh, but he was talking about when he was doing jumper training, and one of the trainees was, um, got scared at jumping. He's like, just jump and go, right? Don't think about it. The longer you hesitate, the more likely you are to continue hesitating, right? So, again, you are allowed to be upset about cancellations and things that don't go right. But at the same time, like, all right, you know, I've been upset about it for, a minute, couple minutes, whatever it is. And then let me, and set a deadline, right? Set a timeline. Maybe I will give myself, I do need 5 minutes to go have a walk, right? Like just get some sunshine on me, get some vitamin D, some happiness, and then get back to it. But try and be strict about it. Set that timer. Um, so yeah, if you control your actions, and then what are the actions you can control this week, and you focus on that, say, okay, I'm going to make X number of calls a day. These are the pillars of my business that I'm going to build. And what are those for you that you're going to work on this week?
I'm gonna make calls.
Your calls, okay. All right. But specifically, what portions of your business are you going to focus on? That's not just you're great. You're making calls. Awesome. Of course, you're going to call your database. We have to do that. But there are other portions of your business that you're building, right?
I think so.
Do you think so? I mean, I'm fairly certain you are. If I'm fairly certain there are specific portions of your business that you're building, you should be fairly certain that you are as well.
Well, I have to do follow-ups
Okay. Yep.
for the art stuff,
Okay. Yep.
and then um, print
What
out
are these follow-ups? Let's talk about these follow-ups. What are these specific follow-ups for?
for the art galleries,
Okay. And what are you
and
doing with your
also car. What is it? What is it? The car shops, the foreign car shop people.
why do you need follow-up with them?
Because I wanted a one model car in front of the house.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Um, and then the I have to talk to my boyfriend about this, but um, passing out flyers for a pool party.
Okay.
And then I also have to talk to my boyfriend about this, but door knocking the neighborhood that I had my first listing in.
Mm-hmm.
I made a call last week. Actually, I actually reached out to them, and one of the ladies was like, "Do you see the economy? I'm not moving. This is my home." It was actually really funny. It was kind of sad
Yeah.
because she didn't hear,
Yeah.
and I felt like there was a language barrier. But
Mm-hmm. Language barriers can be tough on cold calls. Like, yeah, they can definitely be tough. So, all right. Well, listen, what is one important thing, then the most important thing that you're going to focus on this week?
um, it is going to be setting up, not even setting up. I'm gonna make calls from my database to my database.
All right, there we go. And that is repeatable action that can create business. And speaking from someone who did that from experience, it's a very good action to take. It's one of the most important actions you can take, to be honest. Like that voice to voice contact. Everything else, like social media, is all passive. Um, Lead gen, right, where you're being proactive when it comes to making the calls and reaching out to people. Especially nowadays where there's so much on social media and so much people are inundated with so much like from the passive, it's easy for people to just scroll on by, right? So that's why that being proactive about how you're reaching out to people is so important. So let's wrap it up because I know we have market matters today. We're going to go and get a little bit better and learn a little more about the market. So before you move on with your day, ask yourself this honestly. How do slow weeks affect you? Do they frustrate you? Do they slow you down? Do they make you question everything you are doing? Or do you treat them like a professional would? Because a top producer thinks differently. They don't let emotions drive their actions. They reframe the moment. They understand this is where consistency compounds. This is where discipline matters most. So instead of asking, what isn't working? They ask, what can I control today? The calls, the follow ups, the conversations, the habits, those are all actions, and that's what they can control. Because long term success isn't built in one big moment, it's built in weeks like this: quiet weeks, slow weeks, weeks where no one is watching. So when that voice tells you to skip the work, answer it with action. Stay calm, stay intentional, stay consistent. Because if you keep showing up, no matter how you feel, it's a matter of if not if it pays off. It's only a matter of when. Oh, I'm Tony Toich with Motivated Monday. Good morning and good luck.